Okay, cross your fingers. Here it goes.
There are at least 100 different examples in my life that are Mandela effect. People that have completely morphed. They were one person like 3 months ago, and now they're a completely different person. There's a place that I went to like all the time, and it was called a certain thing, and now it's called something different. And when we went there and asked them about it, they're like, it's always been called that. And it's not just me that it's affecting people all over the world. And it's like maps are different, history is different, things that you remember about history and people and songs and names and everything. It's all changing.
The
And I mean,
Berenstein Bears. Huh?
that's not
Berenstein.
that. No, no. Like for example, I'll just give you one example. Would be like the JFK assassination, where we remember it being four people in the car, and my father is. I'm not going to call him out on this, but okay, I've already said his name. It's too late. I love you, Dad. Okay,
There's four
so
people.
my dad is a history buff. My father's like really, really brilliant and he knows like so much stuff. And so I asked him about the JFK assassination when I already knew what the new Mandela
Oh
effect
my God.
truth
Yeah.
about it was. And
Sure.
I asked him who was in the car and he told me all the people's names that were in the car, this, that, and the other. And I went around and asked many different people that were around his age that were there to witness it. And they all remember the four people in the car. Now there's six people in the car.
What?
And I mean, yeah, there's six people. It's a big long limo with glass up in between it and all kinds of crazy stuff. And, honestly, I had a magazine, I still have it, that had the JFK assassination and it had four people in the car. And I went back and looked at that magazine and damn sure if it's not six people now in it. And it's just creeping me the hell out. The Bible's changing, the Lord's Prayer, all different types of stuff. I actually called up this Christian bookstore and I asked her, how does this prayer go? And I said, I want you to say it along with me. And she was like, okay. And then we were doing the word for the word for the word. And then when it got to the part where they've changed it, where they've Mandela'd it, she said the part that I remembered. And I said, would you be willing to stake money that that's correct, that that's how it is? If this was, are you smarter than a fifth grader? Would you be willing to bet everything on it? And she said, yes, absolutely. And I went through and found every Bible in my house, which I am a Christian and I have like 1,000 different Bibles. And I went through and all of the Bibles, except for the new editions, the modernized new editions, had changed. Like the Bibles that I grew up with, the prayer that I have said my entire life, it now says something else. So I'm sorry, guys, to bug out about it, but and a lot of my friends have gotten mad about me about the Mandela effect, because they'll be like, "No, it's always been that way." No, it
Mhm.
hasn't.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of come from a place of mind control technology, doing all kinds of grand psyops on people, and they can do it on a mass level too. So people can literally, they they could potentially implant false memories in millions of people, and then they're going around saying for sure that happened.
No, they can't
What?
implant a false memory about Chuck E. Cheese. I've taken my niece to Chuck E. Cheese forever. I mean, that's our place. I have all the documented evidence to prove it. Okay.
Mhm.
It's Chuck E. freaking Cheese. Okay. I asked
It's
my
not Chuck E.
father.
Cheese. Not
Wait,
Chuck
what
E.
is it? What is it
Cheese.
now? What is it
I,
now?
oh, so you're gonna say it's Chuck E. Cheese too? It's not Chuck E. Cheese. You're all wrong. And so that's
Is it?
just I'm gonna leave it
Wait
at
a
that.
second. What is it?
No, see, so you think it's Chuck E. Cheese, don't you?
I do.
Okay, good.
What is
See.
it? Chuck cheese?
No, just listen. Listen to yourself. You're already trying to change it. You are willing to accept whatever they tell you. It is Chuck E. Cheese, and it will always be Chuck E. Cheese. And
I agree.
I went to my father, and I said, Dad, I said, I'm going to ask you a question right now. I said, that place that we take Logan, what's it called? And he said, Chuck E. Cheese. And I said, would you be willing to put all your money on it? Would you be willing to stake everything on that answer? And he was like, yes. And I said, I want you to pinky swear me that it will always be Chuck E. Cheese, because I knew that they had already changed it and I didn't want to tell him. But because every time I do these Mandela effects to my family, whenever I tell them what the new Mandela answer is, they're like, oh, yeah, that's what it was. I'm like, what? So you're going to go against your own memory just like that. My dad goes, never trust your memory. Memories have been known to have, remember things wrong and stuff. I'm sorry, but no, there's some things I remember.
I agree with you, but I'm just ignorant in that little area of knowledge. What is the new Mandela answer for that?
I'm not telling you.
You know, we
It
can agree. We can
I'm going to
continue
Google
to
it right
agree on
now.
it.
It's
Yeah, 'cause
Chuck E.
that-
Cheese. It's always going to be Chuck E.
Yeah.
Cheese, just like Home Depot is always going to be Home Depot. I mean, there's certain things that, okay, what about Skechers shoes? I mean, I used to own Skechers. Now the T is gone and they say it was never there to begin with. And I'm like, wait a second, hold on. I used to wear Skechers and stuff. And I asked other people, the one that really bugged me out the most, that was the most controversial and caused me to lose the most friends, was Eli Whitney inventing the cotton gin. You know, I'm sorry, we celebrated him in Black history over and over and over again. And I don't really know too many Black inventors, but I was taught that Eli Whitney was a Black slave that invented the cotton gin. Come to find out, he's like a Harvard or Yale white cracker looking, you know, aristocrat. What the heck is going on? So I've made a decision that I am making a T-shirt that says Eli Whitney was Black for Christmas. I'm making it at the mall.
Okay, Google says it's the word Chuck with the initial E and then cheese.
It is not Chuck E. Cheese. It's Chuck. I'm not telling you what the new thing is, but you're right. It is.
That's what I just Googled. I
Okay.
Googled in.
No,
What
you're
I
wrong.
Googled was Chuck E. cheese, and it said, "Did you mean Chuck E. cheese?"
Right, because they're looking up the character. I'm talking about the establishment, what it's called.
Well, they actually put an S on the end, an apostrophe
Yes,
S.
they put an
Cheese.
apostrophe S.
They put apostrophe S on it. Chuck E.
Right.
Cheese.
Okay.
That's weird, huh? It's like
Uh-huh.
they made it kind of a plural. Chuck E. Cheese has become. They turned the cheese into cheeses.
Whatever. You know, my niece calls it yucky cheese. It's like our little joke and stuff like that. So we have our own name for it. It's not yucky cheeses. You know, we've never called it that. But I mean, Chuck E. Cheese is the least of our problems at this point.
Yeah,
I'm
right.
I'm just trying to point out to people that the Mandela effect is real and it did affect me. I've kind of shied away from it simply because I have to concentrate my energy on these sky demons that are completely terrorizing us on a daily basis.